Folks, we've got a very special guest joining us, someone who's joined the broadcast a number of times, but now we can say it's a U.S. Senator from Tennessee. Bill Hagerty has taken the oath, and he's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Senator Hagerty, it's great to have you on the broadcast. Congratulations on taking that oath, and it's an important time, of course, what's happening in Georgia with the two Senate races there and what it'll be like for you in the U.S. Senate and who will be in control. But also what's happening tomorrow. I know, Dad, you want to go right to that.
Senator, congratulations. It's Jay, and great campaign and great result. Let me ask you this, Senator. Tomorrow there's going to be a number of your colleagues casting a vote to not accept various state slated electors. What's your sense of this? What are you going to do, and how do you think it plays out?
Well, first, Jay and Jordan, I just want to say it's great to be back with you again, and how honored I am to be representing the great state of Tennessee as United States Senator. I'm a fourth-generation Tennessean. You know, it's a very special honor. And when I was sworn in on Sunday, the gravity of that really took hold. You know, Vice President Pence swore me in. I was there with my wife and our 4 children. He'd sworn me in back in 2017 to be U.S. Ambassador to Japan, so it had special meaning to do that with him again in this new role. And as you say, it couldn't be more critical than right now in terms of what we're facing. The situation with Georgia, absolutely critical today. I hope every one of your listeners that live in Georgia, that reside legally there, will be getting out to vote because the control of the Senate hangs in the balance. I'm sure we'll talk about that. And then to your question, Jay, on the 6th, that's tomorrow, we'll be presented with this slate of Electoral College results. And I have some very deep concerns about this. It's very difficult in good conscience to rubber stamp results that have been tainted. As you know, activists in certain states change the rules in the middle of the game. Without the constitutional authority to do so, they use the pandemic as their excuse to go out and file lawsuits, to cajole election officials, to do whatever they needed to do to rip the authority and rip the power away from the state legislatures. And again, the U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 1, provides clearly that only elected, accountable state legislators are in charge of election rules. Not activist judges, not election officials, not secretaries of state, not settling lawsuits. So what's happened is we've had the process broken through this through this cycle. These folks have used a pandemic, used a crisis as an excuse to do this, and to stand idly by and let it happen is not something I can in good conscience do. That's why I'm supporting the formation of this commission to get to the bottom of what happened and to present this back to the legislatures, to push our state legislatures to do what their constitutional job is, to correct this situation under their authority in Article 2, Section 1.
Senator, I want to follow up on that if I can, because there is this also, I think, some misunderstanding out there among well-meaning people that think that what you all are going to do is reject the slate and select a slate. That's not what this proposal is doing. Not at all.
Not at all. Let me be clear, what we're not trying to do, we're not trying to put Congress in charge of state elections. Congress commits that authority to the states. But the Constitution provides Congress a voice in reviewing the Electoral College votes. And that's why I'm supporting a commission to conduct an emergency audit to dig into what happened in these states where the election laws were unconstitutionally rewritten. Because I don't want these problems, I want these problems to be fixed and presented to state legislators and corrected now and in the future as well, Jay. We do not want to see this happen in 2020, and we can't let it continue without saying something about it, without doing something about it.
Now, Senator Haggerty, this is George. I mean, I believe that if that commission and to correct these problems is so significant, especially to every conservative listening, because or else I think you'll see place a lot more states like Georgia where you get funny business from courts, and it's not the state legislature, and it's activists funneling challenges through courts, changing, as you said, elections law and rules of the game in the middle of the game, and this will be their new focus. They know if they could get to where it's a mail-in ballot with no signature verification and no address verification, no voter ID, that it would be very difficult in many states for Republicans to ever win again.
Well, Jordan, you're exactly right, and the blueprint for this is right in front of us. As you recall, Nancy Pelosi unveiled her playbook to overhaul the entire American electoral procedure, and she used it under the guise of pandemic relief. If you look at what she proposed there, and again, thank God the Senate stopped this, But what she was talking about was no excuse mail-in voting, mandating universal unsolicited mail ballot distribution across the country, same-day voter registration, no state signature verification for mail-in ballots. Get that. Requiring drop boxes, basically ballot harvesting, and allowing people to be paid to go out and collect ballots. It is just amazing what they laid out in this federal legislation. Again, that's their goal, is to federalize this. This is certainly not our goal. We want to put it back to states that own this responsibility. The legislatures own this responsibility. But again, this playbook was laid out. The Senate stopped it from happening at a federal level, and what we've seen are activists going into certain states and trying to achieve what these goals are, what Nancy Pelosi articulated.
I want Senator Jay here again, and one of the things we've been stressing with our audience, we do have a big audience in Georgia, and of course the voting's going on right now, is that this is a national election down there. This is not who are the two people that are going to represent the state of Georgia, which of course is part of an important part of their job, but it's also and significantly so, I think, it's also who is going to control the United States Senate. And, you've just been sworn in, but you've been in government service. You know what's at stake. This is very serious. And the implications of this leadership of who's leading the Senate is huge.
Oh, it's terribly important. If we don't maintain control of the Senate, that will give the Democrats the opportunity to fundamentally change America. That's what Chuck Schumer has proposed that he wants to do. First take Georgia, then change America. But it won't only happen in America. This is going to change our posture around the world. I was most honored to serve as our U.S. ambassador to Japan. That's the third largest economy in the world after the United States and China. And there, the world is hungry, is desperate for American leadership. We can't go back to leading from behind. We can't go back to, quote, strategic patience that allowed North Korea to ramp up. And we've got to be in a position to push back on China because they continue to mount their aggression militarily, economically, diplomatically. It is absolutely critical that we have strong voices in the Senate with a majority to make certain that America continues to stand strong. And if we don't, the Democrats are going to come in and undo the 2017 Tax Act. That was what put the American economy on a path to become the greatest, fastest-growing economy in the world. They want to take that down, raise taxes. Every business person knows the last thing you do when you're trying to recover from a recession is raise taxes. This is what the Democrats want to do. Raise taxes to take away our freedom. That's not where America needs to be right now.
Senator, I'd like to go back to the big event tomorrow. Now, it could be a long day. What's your understanding of how the day is going to look once these objections start? Is it a 2-hour debate, or is it 2 hours on each objection? How is this going to play out?
An objection requires both a member of the House and a member of the Senate to oppose the objection. And as soon as that happens, the objection itself is supposed to be succinct and clear and brief. But once that objection is posed, both houses break. The House of Representatives will remain in that body because the Senate's going to be over there. The Senate will walk back to Senate chambers, then convene a 2-hour debate. And at the end of that debate, there'll be a vote. And the results of that vote, I hope, will be that we will form this commission to get to the bottom of what's happened here. It should not be a partisan issue. I would think that both Democrats and Republicans would want to get to the bottom of unconstitutional activity.
Yep.
Would want to get to the bottom of what happened here so we don't have a tainted result.
Yeah, the one thing I think we're trying to tell our audience, though, that this is really an uphill battle because you've got to get all of the Republicans to do this in the Senate, to carry this forward, and then to have it happen. And that seems to be a tall task when Senator Lee, Senator Sass have said no. So it's going to be I think it's important that what you're doing, but I just want people to understand it's a tall order.
Well, it's important that we step up. I mean, this is a matter of conscience, and I've been worried and concerned about this since the November election took place. I've never seen a situation like we saw unfold here. Again, using the pandemic as an excuse to go in and in-run the Constitution, to change election laws mid-game, and to basically flood the system with all these ballots that came in, overpowering the system, making it extraordinarily difficult to execute, and again exceeding the the authority where it should lie, and that's with the state legislators, the judges, the executive branch officials that did this have violated the Constitution. In my view, we need to get to the bottom of what happened and put this back to state legislatures to fix this.
Senator Haggerty, I know our listeners are grateful to you already, starting off by taking on this challenge in the U.S. Senate, and for going right from your campaign down to Georgia and working on those and getting out the vote, even as we speak today and with our audience. We appreciate you being on. It's first time as a U.S. Senator. I appreciate that, Senator Haggerty, and we know we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much.